And we are back here live on Metal Nation Radio for Metalholic Mondays. I am Rustin Rose of Metalholic Magazine, and with us, the man, the myth, well, almost legendary, Clint Lowery of Sevendust. How are you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Great to hear from you, man, for sure. How you doing?
Awesome. It's great to get a chance to talk to you. Last year, we got a chance to see you guys perform live, oddly enough, for the very first time, and I was so blown away by how much energy and enthusiasm you guys have on stage. And I was just amazed because so many bands, they get up there, they're doing this night after night, and you can sort of see that they're a little road weary, but there was no sense of that with you guys. I was so impressed.
Oh, well, cool. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you guys are about 2 weeks into your first acoustic tour in like a decade. How's it going so far?
It's going good, man. It's been highly anticipated with us, and I think our hardcore fan base. I think they've been wanting us to do this for a while, and we had tried that. We thought about doing it before a couple of years ago, but I think that we've waited this long. We have another record to kind of pull some songs from as well. You know, and the way that we've done it with the 6 old songs redone and the 6 new songs, brand new songs, I think it's cool. I think it's a good buy for a Sevendust band. It's definitely part of our, we're obviously an aggressive, metal hard rock band, but I think that this side of our band is something that we haven't really put out there a lot. It gives us a chance to kind of change up the flavor a little bit and give people something a little different than what they usually do. Yeah, the Sevendust show. So, I mean, it's been great, man. I mean, we honestly, every night we get off stage and we're just like blown away by the reaction, blown away by the energy of the crowd, the response. It's been unbelievable.
Absolutely. And, they always say that if you can take a hard rock or metal song and strip it back and play it acoustically and it still sounds good, you really, truly have a great song.
Absolutely, 110%, man.
So now you guys will be releasing the new album, Time Travelers Bonfires, this week. Why was this now the right time to record an acoustic album and do an acoustic tour?
I think going back to what I was saying before, it was just, you've been around as long as we have, if you have an option, or some bands that, that are more aggressive really don't consider making an acoustic record. It's one of those things where you're kind of limited. So it's a challenge. When you have a lot of records, it becomes a challenge to cover new ground. So with Lejean being the singer that he is, us, a couple of other guys being able to sing as well, it enables us to kind of go down that melodic path a little more. And, now it seemed like it was the perfect time. We didn't want to do another record right away, but we definitely wanted to put something out. We knew we wanted to do an acoustic tour, and a record to support that was just seemed like a great idea. We just kind of brainstormed it and put it together and spitballed and ended up being here. And I think it's been great, and especially with the Pledge thing.
Yeah, it came out
extra bonus.
Absolutely. I mean, the fans helped fund this album through Pledge Music, as you just said, and you guys hit your goal the first weekend. That's got to be pretty inspiring.
It is, man. It's a testimony to that hardcore fan base, that we have gone out and tried to earn over the years and get the loyalty of those people. And it was obvious, that when we met that goal, we thought it was going to be a month in, month and a half, and here we were the first few days into that. And it was amazing, man. I mean, it was just so we want to make sure we give them good quality and make sure they get their money's worth. That's our life's blood,
Right. Well, and you guys look to the fans for which of the classic songs to record acoustically. Did you record any that you had not originally considered based on the fan input?
Well, there was, I think all the ones that we actually ended up recording from the old songs, we kind of had an idea that there wasn't anything kind of crazy about what now the way the Crucified and Denial came out. Like, we were originally going to do it in a similar kind of tempo and a similar kind of feel, but just acoustic.
Right.
But those songs really have a completely different feel. They sound like new songs. I mean, obviously the words and the melody are the same, but they're slower, they're way darker, and they just came out so different. So the end result of those songs, how they came out acoustically, none of us really thought that we were going to go that route, but it ended up being really cool.
Absolutely. The entire album is phenomenal. I'm really digging it. Now, there's nothing to represent your most recent studio effort, Blackout the Sun. Did you consider any tracks from that record?
Well, the only one, yeah, we did actually. We wanted to do Blackout the Sun. There was a lot of people that requested that song, and we were kind of under a crunch on the time, and that song was probably one of the next on deck. We were going to try to do more songs, actually, and we were trying to shoot for 15, and, we had a month, less than a month, actually, we had 3 weeks to get everything tied up, so we kind of ran out of time, but we know we definitely want to do another acoustic record, maybe, a couple of years down the road, and kind of redo this, make this a part of the cycle. So we're going to consider that. We were going to do Got a Feeling, but that song's already basically acoustic, and we've already released it. And the core base of that song was acoustic already, so we didn't want to be redundant.
Right. Well, and the new tracks are amazing. Gone is my personal favorite so far. Have you guys been cultivating these for a while as acoustic tracks, or did you write them specifically for the record?
Yeah, they were all done. We wrote and recorded all of them. There was a few ideas that I had musically before we went in there, but I wrote that a month prior to going in the studio. So it was, there wasn't too much completely finished, but, we did all of that in the studio. We wrote it all together as a band.
Nice. So, and I know you love all the new tracks, but are there one or two that are especially close to you?
Yeah, Come Down to me, just musically and vocally, I just really, really enjoy that song. I think The Weight is, a song that John actually brought in initially musically, and we co-wrote the words together and lyrics and the melodies, and that song was very special. It's basically about his dad passing, and, so there was a personal attachment to that. And musically, I think with John, everything on it is just really, I love the song. It came out great.
Now, I've always sort of wondered, because you guys are used to being out on these, your regular tours and everything, but when you go out and do an acoustic tour, do you have to prepare yourself differently? The mindset, everything, how you prepare to go on tour?
It's kind of like relaxing. We kind of chill out a lot before the show instead of getting, super amped up. But there are certain routines or rituals we all do, before we go out there. But yeah, there's nothing really for this, man. We just we did a rehearsal before we came out and knew what we wanted to do and knew the flow of the set. So everything's pretty much, routine now. We just kind of lock in and just try to perform it good. And there's a lot of spontaneous elements to the show because it's a storyteller, and sometimes LeJean tells a certain way, it changes. We goof around. We play like Journey songs, and, we just kind of make it fun, instead of just being so serious,
Well, and that's sort of, that campfire feeling. You talk Bonfires is in the title of the album, just that relaxed sort of, just a get-together feeling with the fans. And the fans are so very important to you. And obviously they respond, as the Pledge Music thing would prove out. So, but... yeah,
it's been a great experience so far.
Now, are you guys playing any tracks on this tour that are not on the new album, Time Travelers and Bonfires?
Yeah. There's definitely songs that, we play Got a Feeling, Angel Sun. There's a bunch of other ones. Let me see, man. I'm just having a mind block. We actually play Rumblefish. We do Hurt, the cover that I did of the Nine Inch Nails song.
Right.
Johnny Cash's kind of version of it mixed with Nine Inch Nails. And we play Skeleton Song. It was an old favorite. We did some of the ones we did on the first Southside Double Wide. And we do a really cool version of Disgrace, which is pretty much just LeJean and I. And it's really, really cool. The crowd sings a lot of it. It's awesome.
Sweet. So we got something to look forward to. Now, as a matter of fact, it was a nice segue there, because after your last acoustic tour, after Seasons, you guys released the live album, Southside Double Wide. Are there plans to record another live acoustic album around this tour?
Yes. And it's not going to be only strictly acoustic. I think we're plotting to do a live DVD with both concerts, both of acoustic and electric, and you're the first person I even told about that. So
nice.
That'd be kind of cool. It's going to be a pretty massive DVD thing, in terms of getting the whole history of the band and what we do and what Sevendust is all about. It'll be everything: the history, the acoustic side, the electric side, the behind the scenes side, just everything. It's going to be a pretty lengthy and dense DVD.
Fantastic. Is there some idea time-wise on when fans might be able to look for that?
I would like to think at the end of the year, but it's going to take a while to get all that stuff together. So who knows? It might take us a little while, maybe beginning of next year.
Right. Well, you guys
maybe around the release of our 10th record.
Gotcha. And when you guys are on tour practically nonstop through the summer, just doing this acoustic stuff. So now you guys kicked off the year doing Shipped Rock for 2014. What was that experience like?
They've always been good. We've done a lot of them. That was the fourth one we've done, and every one of them have been amazing. This one has been, they really dialed in what they do and the logistics of it all. So it was a great experience this year.
And so jumping away from your main your day job, if you will, with Sevendust, in October you released the Hello Demons Meet Skeletons Choices EP, and I've sort of heard that's sort of the last we're going to hear of that project. Was that just sort of the finalization?
Yeah, I mean that'll probably be the last of that. If anything else I do, it'll be like probably just a actual solo record. Just me. I probably won't do another Call Me No One or HD Mass, but I'll try to get together with a bunch of really, some really good musicians that I really inspired to play with, and so hopefully lock that in. When Sevendust takes a legitimate break, I'm going to fully pursue that and fill my time off with that.
Before we get out of here, a couple questions just sort of for fun. Give us 3 albums that changed your life.
I'm never really good with these questions because there's so many records. I mean, Back in Black, AC/DC was the first record I heard that was just first legitimate rock and roll record that just blew me away as a kid. Up to that, I would listen to anything like Beatles and stuff like that, which was highly influenced. But I mean, Back in Black record was that was the first kick-ass rock and roll record I ever heard. In 3rd grade. I would say Ozzy's Diary of a Madman was my introduction to metal and Randy Rhoads and all that stuff, and that was a highly influenced record. And the first one that actually really inspired me was my mom and dad's record they did. They were in a band called Plant C, and that was my introduction to music. And I used to look at the album covers, and I would see those album covers and just trip out on them because they were all psychedelic, and and I would kind of get lost in them.
How cool is that? And obviously, the brand new Dio tribute album just came out, and so many great bands on there, but so many more I would have liked to have seen. And I sort of wondered, what would Sevendust have covered if they covered a Dio song for that tribute album?
Man, I don't know. I'm a gigantic Dio fan. I mean, Dio was a huge influence on me in my teenage years, man. But man, I mean, there's so many great Dio songs. I mean, I would even go as far as just basic. He always had those straight up ass whipping first songs on each record, like We Rock and
right.
King of Rock and Roll and all that stuff. I mean, that was just I loved all that stuff, man. So there's so many. I mean, there's the obvious ones, that people do, Rainbow in the Dark and Holy Diver, but I mean, God, man, there's so many, man. I love Dio music, man. He was a huge influence, man. Always had a great guitar player too.
I could see Sevendust doing We Rock. I'd love to hear the Sevendust version.
We Rock!
So before we get out of here, the pointless question of the week, besides going home, obviously, is there a city that you look forward to hitting on every tour?
No, it changes all the time, man. I mean, to be honest with you, there's so many amazing cities. I don't want to give any favor, but... I mean, anywhere where it's 73 degrees and sunny. Anywhere, where it's perfect. This is a great time of the year to tour because it's like that pretty much everywhere. So.
Awesome. Clint Lowery of Sevendust out right now on the acoustic tour, and in support of the brand new album comes out this week, Time Travelers and Bonfires. Fantastic album. It was an honor to talk with you, and I look forward to seeing you next week when you hit my neck of the woods. And be safe out there, and thanks for the great music, brother.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for a great interview. It was awesome.
Take care, man.